Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Tooney, and I'm going to demonstrate for you how to do some research really well on the internet. First thing I'm going to point out is that you can always start at the Santiago website. Go up to the top, click on Library, and right at our library website you can see we have subscription database quick link. You click on that, and we've got two really good subscription databases. The first one is SIRS Issues Researcher, and the second one is the EBSCOhost Complete Online Package. If you're at school, it'll be easy to log on in either case. Notice that for the first database, we've got the username and password right here. And for the second database, we've got the user ID and password as well. Since we're doing research on the 1920s, the first place that I would go would be SIRS Issues Researcher. I'm going to right click, open the link in a new window, and I'm going to copy the username. I'm going to paste it right in here, and then I'm going to put in the password, which is 92881. Click Login, and now I can just type in what I'm interested in. So I'm doing research on 1920s and nativism. So I'm going to start off talking about nativism. And what a database does well is it finds the information that I need and it breaks it down for me. So we've got newspapers, magazines, reference materials, etc. on the left-hand side. If I want to click on any of these source types, it would take me directly to it. And in addition, it gives me a nice listing of all of the most recent information about my topic. Let's say I want to do an advanced search. I click on the upper right-hand corner. I'm going to put nativism, and I'm going to type in 1920s. And let's see what it pulls up. Type in 1920s, click on the search icon. And now it's decreased the amount of sources I have because I've increased the specificity of my search, but you can see it's still listed right here. And if I see one that I'm interested in, and in my case I've got one of the subsections I'm looking at is the Ku Klux Klan, I can click on that. And it talks about how the Ku Klux Klan had kind of a resurrection in the 1920s, and I can find my information here. And if I was going to use any of this information and I wanted to cite it, I could easily click on Cite, and then I could cut and paste my citation, and I could use that on any kind of reference materials that I was looking for. So that's a very quick overview of this database. And what I like about it is that all of the information has been vetted, and it's all information that applies to my particular topic, and it also gives me the citations that I need. The other thing that I could do is go right to EBSCOhost. The login is Santiago HS, Santiago HS. I can type in 1920s and nativism. And it will bring up more information for me. And let's say instead of going through all types, I just wanted to look at the encyclopedia entries. I could click on that. We've got a nice section about nativism. And it talks about nativism through history, and specifically I'm going to be looking at the section that talks a little bit about nativism in the 1920s in this area right here. Finally, let's say that I wanted to just use the Google search engine, and I put in 1920s and nativism. You can see it gives me 169,000 results. Some of them will be good, some of them may be bad. One way to narrow down my results and get a better offering from Google is to click on Settings and go to Advanced Search. And in this case, I'm going to go down to Language, and I'm going to ask just for the pages that are written in English. And then where it says site and domain, I might type in .edu or .org. In this case, I'm going to type in .org. And what that does is it tells Google just to find the sites that end in .org. And since .org stands for a nonprofit organization, it eliminates some of those sites that may be out there that somebody created and they put false information on. So it's helping me to better my chances of finding important information. I click on Advanced Search, and now I will pull up the pages that end in .org. Quick mention for Wikipedia. Wikipedia might be a nice place to start to get kind of an overview of a topic, but you don't want to use it as your only resource because anybody can put information on Wikipedia. It's open source. So what I would do is I might start off at Wikipedia to get a general idea and then go on to more reliable sources. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, often in the reference area, you can find some really good sources. The last thing I'll show you is how to find pictures and images that are not under any kind of copyright restriction. So if I type in 1920s and nativism, and I do my search and I click on images, it'll bring me up all of these images that deal with nativism in the 1920s. Now keep in mind, some of these might be protected by the person who took the picture. You could actually be doing a crime if you took one of these pictures and you didn't get permission first. An easy way to get around this is to just go under Tools, Usage Rights, and just change this from Not Filtered by License to Labeled for Reuse. If it's labeled for reuse, generally that means that you can use it for educational purposes, for any kind of purposes that are not commercial. So if I found something that applied to my research, I would just click on it. And if I was talking about the Ku Klux Klan, this may be something that I would include in my research. Interesting side note, since this is from Wikimedia Commons, if you go to Visit Page, and since this is under Wikimedia Commons and you scroll down, you can see that the licensing for this particular picture is public domain. And since it's in public domain, you are able to use it any way you see fit. There's no sorts of restrictions on it. So that's a good way to make sure you're getting pictures that do not have any kind of copyright protection on it. If you have any questions, just stop by the library and I'll be happy to help you out.